Hi, welcome to today's series where we're going to be just using the mat as our base. I've been getting a lot of requests for just pure mat work. So let's have a go for however long we're here. So we're going to start on our backs as we normally do. Make sure you don't have anything behind your head like a clip like I often do. And if you need something to prop your head up for better comfort, then go and grab yourself a towel or a cushion. So we're just going to begin with something really basic and very necessary for life, and that is breathing. So as we're lying here, you're free to close your eyes if you'd like to, as we just set ourselves up just for the beginning of our movement practice. So we're going to think of our feet as our starting point. So lift your 10 toes up, but keep the knuckles of the toes on the ground so you haven't lifted your ankles off. And then spread your toes down onto the mat like you were playing a piano from the outside to the inside. And we'll do that again, raising the 10 toes and then lowering them down as individually as you can. We'll do that one more time, just really feeling the spread of your feet, the activity that's available to you. So now with a bit more awareness, we're going to find the tripod of your feet. So you're under your big toe, your baby toe, and the center of your heel. So making those 3 points under each one. And just noticing, are you a little bit arched or dropped or flat or on the edge of your feet or on the inside of your feet? Just creating that sense of where you are today. So as I said, we are going to be taking our attention to our breathing, but I want you to feel like you're going to breathe in from your feet. So if you can find those 3 points in the center, I want you to take a breath in from the ground, right up through the arches of your feet, up your legs, down your thighs, into your pelvis and belly. And then as you exhale, let it release all that way again. So we inhale from the arches of the feet, bringing the breath up through the body and into the pelvis, and then exhale down the legs and out through the feet. Now I know that might seem a little weird, but just keep going with me. Inhale again from the soles of the feet, up the shins, down the thighs, into the pelvis. And then exhale from the pelvis, up the thighs, down the shins, and out the feet. Now we're going to take that breath a little bit deeper. So as we get the breath to come in, we're going to go past the pelvis and come up the spine all the way to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale from the crown of the head, all the way down the spine, through the pelvis, up the thighs, down the shins, and through the feet. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling through the feet, up the shins, down the thighs, past the pelvis, through the spine to the crown of the head. And exhaling from the crown of the head, down the spine, through the pelvis, up the thighs, down the shins, and out the feet. One more time without me cueing it, just feel it. And now we're ready to begin. So we're going to start by taking your left leg and just lowering it toward the floor as your knee falls out to the side, being on the edge of your foot as you do so, and then closing that leg to the other one. And then repeat the same to the right leg. So as we're opening the leg out to the side, you're going to work with your breathing again. So we're going to inhale the leg open, and we're going to exhale and close the leg in. And inhale the leg open, and exhale the leg back in. So now as we keep doing the movement with the breathing, can you still visualize that breath coming from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head as you inhale? And then from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet as you exhale. If you really participate with this movement and this idea of the breath, you'll be feeling that you're not rushing your movement, that you're really focused in what it is that you're doing. You can't actually have good movement without intentionalized focus. So the way we change things in our brain is by bringing attention to that and having that focus time. One more time is our right knee opening out and then coming back in again. From here, we're going to bring our left knee into the air, Hover it just above your hip and then stretch it all the way away from you. We're going to lower it just above the ground and then pull it back in towards you. And again, lowering it just above the ground and then coming back. So you may, as you keep doing this for another 3, feel a little bit of your calf touching the floor, just as an awareness of, okay, that's where the ground is. I don't want to go lower than that. And then returning in one more time, lengthening from your rib cage to your toes, and then bringing that all the way back in and lower your leg down. We'll repeat on the other side. Fold your knee up, and then we're going to stretch the leg all the way out. And inhale, fold, and exhale, stretch. Inhale, draw it in, and exhale, reach it out. So we've got 2 more times like that, seeing if you can still think of that breath going from your feet to your head and from your head to your feet, and then lowering your foot back down towards the floor. Send your arms all the way up and over behind you, creating a nice long length through your body. Try not to rest the arms and plonk them down, but to have them a little bit fired up and just hovering off the ground like we had that leg at the last moment. From here, we're going to raise our pelvis into the air, and we're going to lower our arms down towards our sides, and then we're going to lower the hips down and send the arms over again. And then repeating that, pushing hips up and lowering arms down, and then lowering pelvis and sending arms over. We'll just do another 3 like that. So feeling again the foundation of your feet as you are allowing your hips to come up and down. And we're not necessarily bridging like our traditional bridge of rolling. We're just doing more of a push up and a lower down. Kind of like you are keeping your ribs and your pelvis the same distance apart from each other through your movement. On the next one, we're going to bring ourselves all the way up and hold the position. So arms are back down at your side. Pull your left leg in towards you. What we did on the floor now happens in the air. You're going to lower your leg, but we're not going to let it come down to the ground. It's just going to reach out in line with the other thigh and then pull it back. And again, press it away and draw it in. You've got another 3 on this leg. As you reach away, notice the length from crown to toe so that you can keep that length through your whole body. I've already lost count. I'm going to say we're going to do 1 more because who doesn't need a little bit more strengthening? And then lowering that foot down. Don't lower your hips. Raise them up a little bit more. Reposition your body if you need to. Float the right leg up, and then let's stretch the leg away from you and pull it back in. We're getting good length through the front of the body. Still that image from your ribs to your toes, keeping connected. We've got 2 more of these as we stretch out and pull in. And then 1 more time, reach and return. Foot back towards the floor. As your body comes down, your arms are traveling all the way over. Keep your arms long, circle them around and down towards your hips. We'll do that 2 more times as we stretch the arms over and roll the arms out. 1 more time as we reach overhead, and then bringing it all the way back in again. From here, we're going to tip over onto your side, whichever one is fine for you. We're going to take your underarm, hopefully into a long position. If you can't manage a long arm, then you've got a pillow, or you can do a shortened arm. So whatever feels the most comfortable in your body. Your top leg is long, your bottom leg is bent. And you're going to begin with that hand just resting on the floor as a bit of stability. We're going to move our top leg just a little bit behind our center. So we've got that opening again. We're focusing a lot on this extension of our hip today. From here, we're going to hover the leg just up to a level where you don't feel shortening in your lower back, and then tap the floor lightly. And again, lift and lower and lift and lower. 2 more in this round. And then last one, bring it back in. We're going to kick our leg forward, flex your foot as you do, sweep it to the front, point your toe toward the back. And again, sweep the leg to the front and point to take it back. 3 more of these as we move the leg without trying to shorten at the top of the waist. So if you need to, you put your hand on your hip to make sure the gap between your pelvis and your ribs is staying constant. Our next move is a circle, so smaller than our kick. We're just making a nice rounded shape at the end of our mat. 3, 4, 5, and we're going to reverse the direction. The image I have right now is like of a fire swirler. You know, they sort of swirl a big baton of fire going around. I don't know why that's in my head, but it is. And then from there, we're going to bring everything back in again. Now take both hands laced behind your head, and we're going to take our book opening, just 3 of these, as we twist ourselves up towards the ceiling. And then maybe allow yourself to look back towards your elbow, and then closing yourself into your start. And again, leave the elbow up, roll the chest open, and then bringing it all the way back. If we keep the theme of the breath, we're going to be exhaling as we roll ourselves back. Take a little inhale at the end, and then exhale and roll yourself all the way towards the front. From here, we're going to spin and change sides. So however you want to do that, roll over or spin like I've done, and set yourself up again. So long outstretched underarm, long top leg, bottom knee folded. Hand on the floor. Why not give yourself the support? Feel the length at the top waist. Move your foot slightly behind the midline, and then we're going to take that leg up and down for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. We're going to be bringing that leg forward in a horizontal line. Flex your foot and then point your toes. It goes back. And again, bring it to the front. Take it to the back. See if you can do this without the shortening of the waist. It doesn't matter if you don't get it in line where you think you want it to go, as long as it is moving in and moving out. One more time, to the front, to the back. And then here we go, little circles, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then reversing your fire circle for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bend your 2 knees, bend your 2 elbows, bring your knees up a little higher if you want to support your low back, and then rolling your chest bone up for the sky. Eyes can turn to the elbow, and then returning back. This is such a lovely exercise. You know, we can do it fast and miss the benefit. We can do it slow and just enjoy the pleasure of the movement. We've got one more time to take ourselves into that backward stretch. And then returning all the way towards the front. From here, we're going to take ourselves onto all fours position. And let's just make sure that we've got all our good set up. So we've got our hands under our shoulder position, our knees underneath our hip position. Our spine is nice and neutral. So we don't want to have a dropped head. That's never good. So we want to feel like we're pushing away from our wrists. You don't never want to feel like you're cramping into your wrists. If you've got wrist issues, go onto your forearms or put a box in front of you that you can rest your forearms onto. So from here, we're going to send our leg away from us. So left leg is going to slide all the way out, and then it's going to fold back in. Same leg is still moving. So we're on a slight lean towards the right side. You've got 3 more of these as we just reach that leg out and in. And you'll see this is the common theme we've had for our entire class. Hold your leg out, keep it there. Your right arm or the opposite arm is going to be moving out to the side, and bring it back down and open it wide and bring it back in. And 3 and 4 and one more time. Hold the arm out, and then let's bring that knee in and out. 2 and pull in. 3, 2 more. And last time. And then rest it all the way back down. It doesn't seem like challenging work, but when you do it well, it really does get the benefit of where it needs to be. All right, so both hands are on the ground, and we send our right leg away towards the end of your mat. So hovering it in line with your hip, and then pull the knee in and push the leg out. So while the leg is moving through space, nothing else is happening. Your body position is staying as balanced as possible. The weight of your head is lifted up towards the ceiling, and you're already feeling fairly light in your arms. Hold your leg out. Let's send the opposite arm, in this case the left, to the side and bring it back under. So can you move your arms sideways without toppling over? And 2 more. And last one, hold that limb open, and then knee travels in. A little bit more complicated, this one, and out. And 2 and 3, you know that when I count, it's because lots of things are going on. 4, and I need to stay focused. And 5, very nice, and then bringing it all the way back in. From here, we're going to lower ourselves down onto our body. So front chest. Hands are going wide, elbows at a right angle shape, and lowering yourself to the mat. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, lift the top of your head up, bringing your chest bone away from the floor. But let's stay on those lower ribs, and then returning yourself towards the mat. And again, on the out breath, we raise the top of the body up. So you want to just hang out here for a moment. Make sure there's no tension coming up at your shoulders. You've got this feeling of dropped shoulders, but not tensely dropped. It's just relaxed. And you could stay here. We could have a conversation and you wouldn't feel like you had to get back down to the ground in a very short amount of time. And then return to the mat again. And then repeating that. So we're looking for that flexibility as well as strength in our back body as we do these moves. So we've got 2 more of these, and we should feel like these are achievable movements. These are not the most advanced moves in Pilates. I really try and keep these workouts for most people to be able to do with ease. And returning down. So now what we're going to do is bring the hands in a little closer. We're going to go into a more full extension. So of course, if there are issues in your lower back that you know about, please don't do this. Just stick with that last version. But, it's good to train it. So at this point, we're going to be engaging through the glutes, but only in a moment. So we'll still peel our front chest up. And then as you begin to come up higher, naturally those sit bones are going to narrow to each other. The glutes are going to get working. The hips are going to fire off. The hamstrings will work. The glute max is going to work. And then as we lower down, those muscles are slowly going to ease off their hold. And then we're back and everything's quiet. And again, we lead from the chest first. So your upper back muscles are working. As you go higher up, then the lower body is going to come in. It's going to support you. The front of the belly will be working. You don't have to put anything on. You don't have to switch a muscle on or switch a muscle off. It's all going to work in perfect synchronicity with each other. If you just focus on what needs to happen in terms of your spine rolling, the ribs leaving the floor, your navel leaving the floor, your pubic bone potentially leaving the floor, and then coming down smoothly in that line again. These are moves that we need to be able to do really well when controlled. Everyone wants to do push-ups, but this is a push-up of a completely different magnitude. The slowing down of this is so good for your tricep muscles. And we're going to do one more time. We're going to stay at the top of our last one, and we'll make a transition from there just into lifting the pelvis and going back towards your feet for a nice big stretch out. All right, so let's just come into another seated position from here. You can be seated cross-legged or onto your knees, whatever is most comfortable for you. Ideally, we're going to have a nice tall lifted spine. I'm just going to send our arms out to the side. From here, we're going to rotate in one direction and then come back to the center and then rotate in the other direction. So as we're doing the twisting in the upper body, like we did in our book openings, you want the movement to happen from eyes and nose, chin and chest, and then coming back again. So try not to bring your arm across to get further away. You're not going to necessarily get there. We want to feel like our arms are always opposite from each other. And then pausing here, we're going to lower your arm down to the floor and have a nice big side bend stretch. So I'm not letting my elbow rest on the ground. I am just bending into it to make sure that my ear and my shoulder are not meeting, and then coming up. And then the other side going under. So feeling a great stretch on the top side and that bottom side, really supportive. So the way we're going to test if we're using too much pressure into the standing arm or the arm on the floor is we're going to hover that arm. If you had to change position, lift your body weight up, or you collapsed, then you're using too much weight into that lower hand. So we'll try that on the other side. Start with the hand on, side bend over. If you lift your hand and you have to alter your position, then maybe you need to come back out of the stretch a little bit again. So don't worry about lifting the hand again. Just see if you can find that really comfortable place where you have support, but you're not relying on the support. And then we'll go the last one over towards the side here. All right, let's swing ourselves all the way back onto our backs again, where we began. And let's just have a little moment of feeling all the things that we've gone through. So as you're lying here, you're already hopefully going to notice it feels different to the first time we laid down today. So just giving yourself a few moments to just shift and shuffle into your new alignment. Again, if you feel like you would like to, you can close your eyes as we go back into that visualization of our breathing. So can you identify your 3 points of contact through your feet? Under the big toe, under the baby toe, and at the center of your heel. And when I say toes, maybe I should have made that clearer. It's not your toe digits I'm talking about. I'm talking about those nice pads and knuckles underneath your toe joints. So as we take our next breath in, again, we're going to breathe through the arch of the foot, up the shin, down the thigh, through the pelvis, up the spine, and out the crown of your head. As you exhale, bring the air down from the crown of your head through your spine, past your pelvis, up your thighs, down your shins, and out through your feet. Let's do that 2 more times. And then 1 more breath in from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. And out from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. I'm going to leave you here in this peaceful moment. I hope you've had a great session with me. And if you ever have any other requests, please feel free to write them in the comments or to contact me, and I will do my best to create something especially for you. Have a great day. Bye.